Yeniden merhaba. Dünya Çevre Günü özel yayınımız devam ediyor. Birbirinden değerli, önemli konuklarla bugünü hep birlikte özel yayınla geçiriyoruz. Şimdi Fransız Kalkınma Ajansı var. Fransa'nın özellikle sürdürülebilir bir dünya için önemli çalışmalar yapan, önemli katkılarda bulunan Fransız Kalkınma Ajansı Türkiye'de de bir organizasyonu var. Fransız Kalkınma Ajansı'nın misyonunu ve özellikle ülkemizdeki, bölgedeki çalışmalarını AFD'nin yani Fransız Kalkınma Ajansı'nın Türkiye Direktörü Tanguy Denieul ile konuşacağız. Bundan sonrası programın İngilizce olarak devam edecek. Hello, bonjour.
Hello, merhaba.
Denieul. Merhaba, merhaba.
Bonjour.
Hoş geldiniz. Welcome. Bienvenue dans toutes les langages.
Çok teşekkürler.
Each language. So, we said AFD for a sustainable world. This is very important headline for all of us, for all the world, and this is also one of your mission, of course, this phrase. But before we start talking about the mission, the objectives of AFD, maybe we can go with we can say some words for the World Environment Day, sir. Please.
Yes, for sure. AFD here in Turkey is committed to these big topics of environment. So we are we are financing projects, but also we are organizing events to be able to show to people widely how we can work together and how we have to be all committed and all aware of these huge topics of the environment.
Okay. So in that very special program, it's important to be together with you. So it's a big pleasure for us, for Çevre TV. So let's get started with AFD's mission, objectives. Could you please introduce us, AFD, sir?
Yes, sure. Well, AFD is present in Turkey since 2005. AFD Group. AFD is a group, actually. It's a group which has three components. We have AFD itself, which is dedicated to finance public institutions. We have also Proparco, our subsidiary, which is dedicated to financing private sector. And we have a third member, which is Agence France, whose mission is to accompany the projects with international technical cooperation. Our global objective is to support and accelerate the transitions to a fairer and a more sustainable world, focusing on climate, biodiversity, gender equality, peace, education, urban development, health, etc.
Those all are the most important subjects in in today's world. It's getting more and more crucial because we have problems for climate changing, global warming and all, and sustainability is very important, so important for all of us. So your work is really important and crucial. So you just talk about Proparco and Expertise France. What is that institution?
There are subsidiaries of AFD Group, actually.
Okay.
Yes, we work together because, AFD is dedicated to financing the public sector. And we all know that these huge topics of environment, of climate change is so big that we have also to involve the private sector, and our subsidiary Proparco is dedicated to that.
Before coming to Turkey and Turkey's operation of AFD, in how many countries you are operating? You have agencies, you have offices, and how many projects?
We have more than 70 agencies, but we operate in more than 100 countries in the world, and the total portfolio of AFD is around 4,000 projects now.
Okay. and we'll have some details of that projects. What kind of projects, and especially what kind of projects you are operating in Turkey. So let's come to Turkey. As you said, it's been more than 15 years that you are present in Turkey. So what are your daily program, your projects, your supports program? Let's come to Turkey, please.
Yes, sure. We have, yes, since the origin of our activities in Turkey, so let's say more than 15 years, we have financed nearly 50 projects here in Turkey with a total amount of 4 billion euros of loans. And so that's the program since the beginning. And every year we provide around 200 to 300 million euro of new loans to Turkey. These loans are dedicated to finance investments, and also we have grants to finance the technical assistance beside this investment financing. And our objectives here in Turkey are to support the equipment of cities and territories in sectors like transport, water, waste management, to support the climate ambition and the just energy transition, and to develop the natural capital like forest, biodiversity policies, etc.
All those subjects are mainly strongly related with environment, with global warming, with sustainability. So again, you're welcome in our program, because those are our subjects also. As you mentioned, supporting the climate ambition is very important. So developing the natural capital is an interesting subject in which we have ecotourism, I think, also circular economy, biodiversity. Could you please give some details for those kind of projects? Objectives?
Yes, sure. Okay, for sure. Well, it's important to recall that the Paris Agreement stands at the heart of our group, AFD Group mandate. So every project which will be financed by AFD have to be a low carbon development agenda. That's important. And we have projects in biodiversity, because we expect that behind the climate change agenda, biodiversity will be more and more important in the future. So that's why AFD committed to engage more than 1 billion euro per year in the world in biodiversity. And here in Turkey, I think that biodiversity is very important. As you know, biodiversity is particularly wide and important here in Turkey, because you have a lot of species,
endemic,
lot of
especially endemic
areas.
Species, special for a region, endemic species, and more than thousands of, maybe hundreds of thousands of the animals also, and the other, the natural facts.
Sure.
And more than that, I think next week you have a special event, or for a biodiversity in Turkey, with academicians, with participants, also in Palais de France, and I think we'll be together in that event too. So when you are talking about the project, you said 50 projects in Turkey. What kind of projects? What do you mean by supporting any project? Financial support, of course.
For example, the projects are the projects of Turkey, obviously. It's not projects from AFD. We are just here to finance the projects, but the projects are initiated by Turkey. It's very important. Yes, sure. And for example, in the 10 last year, we financed 600 million euro with the Turkish Treasury and Finance on sustainable forest management. So OGME was the main beneficiary of this loan, and the implementing public institutions. So the program with this 600 million euros was had different topics, different objectives, like forest fire prevention, forest pest, afforestation and reforestation, ecotourism, as you mentioned, biodiversity, climate change adaptation, etc. And more than 100 experts were involved in both countries, in France and in Turkey. And we are very proud of this cooperation between France and Turkey, because these loans provided concrete results, like forest climate change adaptation action plan, a roadmap, and a pilot project to better integrate forest biodiversity, etc. So I think that this cooperation, it's very important for both countries. For Turkey, because Turkey was the beneficiary of this loan, but also for France, because we have those exchange between the experts of the both countries.
After starting the project, financing the project, do you also follow the process together with your specialist or any matter?
Yes, sure. When we are talking, we have this public policy dialogue with Turkish authority, and through this discussion, so through this dialogue with the authorities, we can identify together what are the best projects that we could finance with our loans, and we associate systematically experts from our headquarters in Paris. They come here in Turkey, they discuss further with the authorities, and so they can define together the design of the projects. And after that, when we have this appraisal phases, our board in Paris will agree with the projects, with the financing, and then we are implementing it with the authorities.
In that very special program, we are together with the director of AFD, Agence Française de Développement, Mr. Tanguy Denieul, and we are talking about AFD in Turkey and the projects. And sir, what kind of financial tools you propose in Turkey and in general also?
Yes, in Turkey we have mainly. So I think that it's important to just to mention first that AFD is a non-profit public French institution, which means that we provide long-term loans with interest rate calculated just to cover our costs and nothing more. So we have no commercial margin,
profits, any benefits. Okay.
No profit at all. Okay.
Social benefit. We can
yes,
say international.
Yes, just social benefits. Yes.
Yeah.
And when we grant loans, we have two types of loans mainly. First, the sovereign loans, which are provided to the state, to the Turkish state, or to another public institution with the guarantee of Turkish Ministry of Treasury, of Hazine. That's the sovereign loans. And beside that, we have also the non-sovereign loans, which are granted to, let's say, metropolitan municipalities or its operators, or to our credit lines to public banks. And in general, our loans are around 100 million euros, and we have they have a long maturity, so that they can cover a long-term project.
What do you mean exactly by long term? It's 10 years, 20 years? What is the return?
Yes, in general, the maturity of the loans are around 12 to 20 years.
Okay. And is it possible to give us some name of some details for that projects? Or
yes,
can you give some
sure.
examples of that projects?
Yes, I also mentioned this project with Ogeme and the
Ogeme.
600 million euro,
Okay.
which was a big project. But
General Director
we have
of Forestry in Turkey, Ogeme. Okay.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
We have also granted loans to TKYB in Turkey, the Turkish public bank.
Yeah.
So to help them to issue their first green bond this year.
Green for green
very
bond.
important.
Again with
it's a green bond,
climate
yes.
and environment purposes. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Another example with the bank is, for example, a loan that we provided to Vakıf Bank to help them to finance housing which are energy efficient for people.
Yeah.
That's another example. In terms of financing municipalities, we provided loans to Izmir Metropolitan Municipality so that they can finance their urban public transport projects, but also to Istanbul Municipality. We also finance with these municipalities the water and sanitation and waste management projects. That's all that we can do with them. And last type of projects, let's say, we mix our loans with EU grants, like grants for facility for refugees in Turkey, to finance projects in water also, and in health too, hospitals.
In your objectives, you also give importance to gender equality, sir, and
yes.
also, as you mentioned, refugees problem, which is a big problem for Turkey also. Could you give some details for those two major social issues also, please?
Yes, gender equality is a cross-cutting subject.
Yeah.
We, in every project that we finance, we try to identify how we can help to enhance and to promote the women in general and their place in the companies and in the economic world. So it's something very important in all projects. But also, we can provide projects, finance, like we did with TSKB, the Turkish public bank, to help them to accompany their own clients to promote the place of women in the companies. So that's the type of financing that we can do here in Turkey too.
Okay, for refugees also, any special project?
As you know better than me, is are very in Turkey, and Turkey has around 4 million refugees from Syria, and especially in some municipalities in the south of the country, the proportion, the part of the refugees are very important. So the municipalities have issues like public infrastructure, and we discuss with those municipalities to help them to finance those infrastructure so that refugees and host communities can live together and benefit from this infrastructure in terms of health, in terms of drinkable water, etc.
Okay, as far as I understand most of your subjects or objectives, your missions are about and related with the environment in general, the climate change, the global warming. Before it was like that also, but or this is the emphasis underlining especially for those years, last years maybe.
Yes,
it's getting more and more important because.
Yes. The AFD is worked in a lot of countries, but in countries like Turkey, we think that this environmental issues are more important than in other countries, because Turkey is developing very quickly, and the impact of this development, of this economic development, could be very important of environment in general. So it's very important to accompany the authorities, the central and local authorities, to help them technically and financially to mitigate the impact of this economic development on environment, on the nature of the country.
Great. It's really important also for Turkey and for all over the world, for all the world. Final question maybe, are you satisfied, are you happy after 15 or 17 years, maybe more, are you satisfied with the result you achieved in Turkey? And what do you think for the future also?
Well, yes, sure. I think that we did a lot of great things together, but I think that the objective is to increase this collaboration, this cooperation between our countries, and that's why France, through involved in the climate change memorandum of understanding, the MOU climate change, that France signed together with the World Bank, Germany, EBRD, with the Turkish government, so that we can commit to accelerate our financing to accompany Turkey in his low carbon trajectory.
Okay, thank you so much. C'était très important de vous accueillir dans notre programme. Alors, bonne continuation avec
Merci
votre
beaucoup.
équipe. Et au revoir.
Merci beaucoup.
Au revoir. Bye bye. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, et vous faites un beau métier de mobiliser et de sensibiliser les gens à cette problématique.
Merci beaucoup. Evet, böylelikle programımızın sonuna gelmiş olduk. Fransız Kalkınma Ajansı Tanguy Denieul'ün de anlattığı gibi 15, 16, 17 yıldan beri Türkiye'de de çalışmalarını devam ettiriyor. Ve özellikle çevre başlıklı konularda hem kredi vererek hem finansal destek sağlayarak çok ciddi bir katkıda bulunuyor. Her türlü özellikle iklim değişikliği, küresel ısınmayı ilgilendiren projelerle ilgili hem belediyelerle hem devletle, hazine üzerinden devletle ya da özel sektörle de çalışmalar yapılıyor ki bu transformasyon döneminde, bu geçiş döneminde dünyanın artık fosil yakıtlara veda ettiği, yenilenebilir enerjiye geçtiği ve tüm bu daha iklim dostu, daha sürdürülebilir bir dünyaya geçiş için bu tarz destekler, finansal destekler özellikle son derece önemli. Fransız Kalkınma Ajansı da 2005 yılından beri bu görevi başarıyla yerine getiriyor ve direktörü az önce işte Tanguy Denieul de bize detayları anlattı. Fransız Kalkınma Ajansı'nın çalışmalarıyla ilgili. Çevre TV Çevre Günü özel yayınında yeni konuklarla yeniden görüşmek üzere.